Hello everyone. So in this particular video, we are going to do one end-to-end Databricks Pyspark project. So this is a retail sales project. We have one of the business requirements. So first we will try to understand the requirement. Then we will think about the solutioning part and then we will move for the practical parts. So at the end of this video, we will try to create this particular notebook. In this notebook, we have written all the query and also we will see like how actually you can create a visualization in a Databricks itself. Everything we are going to see, and also few automation part also we will see. Like you can see in the drop down we have mentioned the weekly and the monthly, right? So if I select the weekly, then the weekly data is coming and the query will run for the weekly. If I select monthly, then the monthly date will come and it will run for the monthly time period. So everything we are going to see in this particular video. In real time also, generally you will get a requirement like this only. So you will be having a product manager and the stakeholders. So based on the business needs, what actually they will do, they will try to write down the requirement, all the requirement in a one page, and they will try to send it to the data team. When I'm saying a data team, it can be a data analyst team, it can be a data engineer team, or it can be a data science team. So whatever the requirement they have, they will try to give it to the data team. What data team will do, they will try to understand the requirement first, and then after that they will try to check in the data. They will try to analyze the data set, whether all the data they have to fulfill this requirement or not. So they will try to understand the data, and then finally they will move for the development and the production part. So this is how actually we work in a real time. Here also we are going to follow in the same way. So we will try to understand the requirement and then we will try to understand the data set, and then only we will move for the production development part. So let us start with the business requirement. We have a superstore sample retail data and our stakeholder wants to track the below business metric. Suppose one of the stakeholders, they have given you this kind of the requirements. Let's understand that. So they wanted to track like how many total number of customer we have, how many total number of orders we have, total number of sales as of now, what is the total number of profit, what is the total sales based on the country, most profitable region and country, top sales category product, top 10 sales subcategory product, most order quantity product, top customer based on the sales. So these are the requirement actually they want to know. So they also want to know like dashboard and notebook should be refreshed based on the weekly and monthly basis. What does it mean? When I am saying a monthly and a weekly basis means if anyone is selecting a monthly, then the last month what is the total number of customer, what is the total number of order, what is the total number of sales, that information I should get. When I am selecting a weekly, then on last week how many total number of customer, total number of order, total number of sales happened, that actually they want to know. So we had to create this all the kind of the metrics in a Databricks notebooks. So that is the requirement we have. Now another question is like why this kind of the requirements. So suppose you are working in a company, you are selling a product. Now you want to track, right, your business, like how many total number of sales is happening, on which particular region my sales is happening more, so that I can track the requirement, I can track the demand, and I can supply there more. So to track the business, this kind of the requirement is necessary. So that's why the product manager and stakeholder, they give this kind of the requirement, and based on that they actually try to take a decision. So let's try to do a practical. So what we will do, we will open our Databricks notebook. Before that, let me show you the data set. So this is the data set I have. I have all the order related information here. I have all the customer related information, city, state, product related information, category, subcategory, sales, quantity, discount, profit. So as of now, every information available into this data set. If you will see, this is a structured data set as of now, but generally in a real time you will see you will be having a multiple file where sales related information will be available in another file, customer related information will be another file. So you may have to do a joining. After doing a joining, finally you will be having this particular data set. On top of this, you have to build the requirement. So this is the data set we have. Now what actually we'll do, we'll open our Databricks community edition. The first thing, we'll go to the compute. We will try to create a compute. So click on the create compute, and here you can give any cluster name. Once you will do that, you have to click on the create compute. I have already created one cluster project, so that I will use. After that, I will go to the workspace. I'll try to create a notebook. So I'll click on the create notebook. In this notebook I will give PySpark sales final project. You can give any name, and here only we are going to write all the kind of the requirement. Now my data set is available in a CSV format. So what I will do, I will first try to load this. So what we will do, I'll go to the catalog, click on the create table. I'll try to load the particular file. So this is the superstore file, so I will try to load that. In real time, you will already be having a table, or you will already be having a details about the location where file is located. So based on that, you have to create a data frame and the table. So this is the location where my file is available, I got to know. So what I will do, I'll just copy this. Based on this location, first we will try to create a data frame. So how actually we can create a data frame? You have to write df spark dot read dot csv, because this is a csv file, so we are writing spark dot read dot csv. We'll pass the location, we will make the header equal to true, and after that we will also make the infer schema true, and after that if I'll do display df, I should be able to view my data frame. So I am able to read my data frame, I am able to read my data. Now what actually we'll do, we'll try to develop a matrix one by one. So what is the first matrix? First matrix is telling about like how many total number of customer we have, what is the total number of orders we have. This we have to calculate. Now here if you will see, we have a customer ID. So if I'll find out the count of distinct customer ID, I will get the total number of customer. If I'll find out count of distinct order ID, I will get the total number of order, right? So we have a data frame. Either you can use a PySpark, like you can use a distinct function, and the second way is like you try to convert this data frame into a one temporary view, so that you can write a SQL code also. So what I will do, this data frame, right, with the help of the create or replace temp view, I will try to create one virtual table. So table name is sample. So this is the virtual table I am creating. Whatever the data frame I am converting into the one virtual table, one temporary view. Now what will be the advantage? With the help of this, I can write any kind of the SQL code. So if I write select star from sample, I will be able to view my data. So this data frame I have converted into one virtual table. So on a temporary basis, this table is available. Now I can write all the kind of the requirement on top of this virtual table. So suppose you have to find out what is the total number of customer, right? So how actually you can write total number of customer. So if I'll do select count of distinct customer ID, count of distinct customer ID, if I'll do count of distinct customer ID from the sample table, I should be able to get what is the total number of customer. You can see 793 total number of customer we have. Now if you will see in the requirement, they have also mentioned the dashboard notebook should be refreshed based on the weekly and monthly basis. So they also want to know on that particular month, on that particular week, how many total number of customer has done the order. So if you will see in the data, we have a one order date. So based on the order date, what we have to find out on that particular month, how many total number of customer had done the order. So how actually you can find out? So what I will write, select star from sample table, where order date between last month. If I have to find out, so I will write last month data 0601, start date and the end date 0630. If I'll do this, I should be able to get the what is the total number of customers who has done the order on the last month and last week. And for the last week, what I have to do, I have to mention the last week data. But this is a manual task, right? Manually we are writing this date, and then only I am getting the output. This we have to do a automation. So if anyone will select a weekly, then the last week data should come automatically. If anyone is selecting a monthly, then last month data should come automatically. So for that, we should have some kind of the automation script, so that automatically it will trigger. That's how we will give it to the stakeholders, right? So what I will do, I will create one drop down in this particular notebooks. How actually we can create a drop down? So for that, we have to write dbutils.widgets.get. widgets dot drop down, and we will create one drop down name as a time period. This is the time period I am creating. By default I will pass weekly. By default it will be a weekly selection in the drop down, and I will also make comma. In this drop down we will be having a weekly as well as the monthly selection. If I will execute this code, dbutils the widget or drop down, you can see one drop down got created. In this drop down we have a weekly and monthly, and by default weekly is selected. So if anyone is selecting weekly, then last week data it should come. If anyone is selecting monthly, then the last month data it should come. So for that we should write a code. So I have written one code. Let me write this here and let me explain you. So in this code what I am writing, so first I am trying to read this. First I am imported few library, and after that I am writing this. First I should read this time period. So what is time period? Time period is weekly, right? So I should read this. So how actually I can read? So with the help of dbutils.widgets.get, whatever the time period will be available here, I am first reading that. So if the time period is weekly, then I am calculating the start date and end date. If time period is monthly, then I am calculating the start date and the end date. And finally I am printing the start date and end date. If I will execute and if I will show you, this is the weekly, right? Now if I will execute this, you can see it is showing me the last week data. What is the last week data? Last week is starting from the 14 and last week is ending from the 20. So last week is start date and the last week end date I am getting. If I will select the monthly here, and if I will show you here, what was the last month? Last month start date is the 1st of June, last month end date is 30. So it is showing you the last month start date and last month end date. So like this, if it will be a next month, so if the current date is suppose August, then what it will show? It will show the July first week data, and the end date will be the 31st July. So like that actually I have written one code to find out the start date and end date. Last month start date, last month end date, I have written this code. Last week start date, last week end date, I have written this code. There are different ways. You can also write your own Python code and to calculate the start date and end date. So I have written this. Now where actually I will use? So in this query I was writing the manually, right? This thing I have to do automation. So what actually I can write? I will write a Python code now. So in a Python, if you have to write the SQL code, so what actually you can write? You can write spark.sql, and after that in a triple quote f and triple quote, if you write triple quote in the end also, what actually you can do? You can pass that parameter. Here we will pass the parameter start date, and here we will pass the parameter end date. So what actually I am writing? The first way is like directly %SQL, and you can write the SQL code. The second way is like in a Python itself, you have to write spark.sql, after that triple quote, and you can write any kind of the SQL code here. I am passing the parameter start date and end date also here. Now if I will do a display, if I will do, I should be able to get, because we have selected the monthly, right? So on last month, how many total number of customers has done the order? I am getting 118 customer. If I select the weekly here, and if I will execute this query, so I will get the result on last week how many customer has done the order. So this is the output I am getting. So what we have done, we have created one parameter start date and end date. So if anyone is selecting a monthly here, then the last month start date and end date we are getting. If anyone is selecting weekly, then the last week start date and end date I am getting. And this is what actually I am using into my query. So if any stakeholder will select start date and end date, and if they will click on the run all, then I will directly automatically get the output for the last week and the last month. So that is the output we wanted. That's why we have written this code. So with the help of this, we are finding out the total customer has done the order last week or month based on the drop down selection. So this is the automated script I have written this. Now what is our next requirement? Next requirement is like we have to find out total number of order, total number of sales, total number of profit. To calculate the total number of order, in the data set if you will see we have a order ID column. So with the help of order ID I will get what is the count of distinct order ID. If I will do, I will get the what is the total number of order we have. So in the same code if I will write count of distinct order ID, I will copy this. To find out the total number of order, I am writing select count of distinct order ID. From this table I will get the total number of order we have 5009. Now if you have to calculate on that particular week or month how many total number of order has been happened, so what I will write the same code like this. I will write select count of distinct order ID from table where order date between the start date and end date. If I will do that, it is a weekly, right? So on last week 18 order has been done. If I will select the monthly, on last month, if I will execute this, 133 order has been done. So this is what actually we are getting a order. Now coming to the next, we have to find out the total number of sales and total number of profit. So let's try to do it together. To find out the total number of sales and total number of profit, in this data set we have one of the column sales as well as the profit. So if I find out the select sum of the sales, sum of the profit, I will get it, right? So I will write a code for that. Total sales and profit. So what I will write, select sum of sales and the sum of profit from this table. So with this query I will get the what is the total number of sales. So this is the total number of sales we have and this is the total number of profit we have. So I am able to get that. Now what is our next requirement? Next requirement is top sales by country. So if I had to find out the top sales by country, so what I will write, select sum of sales and I will try to group based on the country and I will do group by 2. If I write group by 2 means this is the first, this is the second. Group by 2 means group by country. If I'll do this, you can see we have only one country, that's why it is showing one country and this is the total sales. So all the sales is coming from the United States only. Now we have to find out most profitable region and country. So if you have to find out the most profitable region and country, so how actually we can find out? So we will write a code. We are grouping country as well as the region. Region also we have one of the column. So I will write group by 2 and 3. If I'll do this, now here you will get from the central region, west region, south region, east region, we have this many sales. Now if I will do order by one descending, so in this case what will happen, based on the descending order total sales is coming. So we are getting to know like from west region most of the sales is happening, then the east region most of the sales is happening, then the central and then the south. So this is how actually it is happening. After that we have to find out top sales category product. So how actually you can find out the top sales category product? Top sales category product. To find out the top sales category product, what you have to write? Select sum of sales and if I will do group by category, group by 2, order by 1, descending order. I'll get the most of the sales is coming from a technology and then furniture and then the office. And what is our next requirement? Top 10 sales subcategory product. So to find based on the subcategory also we have to find out but the top 10. So if I write base group based on the subcategory, subcategory is one of the column. If I will show you, so we have a so many subcategory, but our requirement is to find out top 10 sales subcategory. Top 10 sales subcategory. So what I am doing, sum of sales I am doing, I am grouping based on the subcategory and I am doing order by 1. So descending order all the sales is coming, but I have to find out only the top 10. So what I will write, limit 10. If I'll do limit 10, then only top 10 sales based on the subcategory it is showing. Only the top 10. So we have find out the top 10 sales subcategory. Most order quantity product. Most order quantity product. So if you will see in the data set, we have a quantity column and we have a product name. So what we will do, we will do sum of the quantity and we will try to group based on the product name. So we have to find out most order quantity product. So how actually we can write? We'll write count of distinct, we will write sum of quantity and we will group based on the product name. If I'll show you, this is what I am getting. So we have so many product and most of the most order product is this one. Now let's try to find out another one, the last one, top customer based on the sales and city. So if we have to find out top customer based on the sales and city, what you can do? Top customer means we have a customer name information also, right? So what we will do, if I'll show you, we have a customer name information, top customer based on their sales we have to find out. So what I will do, this customer based on their order or based on their sales I will try to group. So what I am saying, I will write sum of sales and the customer name. If I will do this, you can see this customer has done most of the sales. So he is the top customer. So top customer based on the sales and the city, and based on the city also we have to group. So I will write city. So I'll write group by 2, 3. Now if I'll show you, so this customer has done most of the sales and he is from this city, and like this all the customer details we have. So we have calculated all the metrics. Now if you have to show it to the stakeholders, so what do you have to do? Whatever the unwanted column, right, first you have to remove this. So this is the unwanted, so I will remove this. Now suppose you had to show in the form of the visualization, then what you have to do, you can see this is the query, right? As of now it is showing in the form of table, but you want to convert into the visualization. Click on the plus, click on the visualization, and this tag we will select the visualization type as a bar chart only. And what we will do, this tag first we will make as a disable, and y column it is showing the country, but y column I want a region. So you can see central, east, south and west region. And what actually I want, in the data label also I want to see, so click on the show data label. So with this chart I am getting to know like most of the profit is coming from the west region, and then the east region, then south and central. So like this you can convert this in the form of the visualization. So if I click on the save, you can see this got converted in the form of the visualization. Now suppose we have another, right? this top sales category products, this we want to convert. So click on the plus visualization. I want to create a pie chart here, so I'll select the pie chart. So you can see based on the category sum of sales it is coming. You can see 36% is coming from the technology, then it is coming from furniture and then sales. So like that we are getting a information. Click on the save. This got converted into the visualization. Now after that, top 10 sales subcategory. So I will click on the plus, click on the visualization. Bar chart is also fine. So with this I will be able to get the all the details. If I'll do a show data label, I will get that. Now one bar chart we have created. You can explore the other option also here. I'll click on the save. So like this actually we can create a visualization also. So try to explore the visualization part, like the multiple charts we can create based on our query. So try to explore that. Yeah, and this is a simple project. As we move further, we will try to increase the complexity for the PySpark code also. As of now in the requirement, if you will see all the query, right, this was simple because this is a first project, but as we move further, we'll try to improve the complexity also. Yeah, that's it in this video. I hope you like it.